say hello to my little friend. Not Gary Coleman, but he helps me out here. I have a secret weapon. See, I haven't been sick, legitimately sick, since last year sometime, maybe late October, early November. And I have to give credit to this little concoction that I make and that I drink or gargle with almost daily, or maybe multiple times a day, depending on the situation. But it works so good, I have to be careful that I don't turn into that Greek guy in the movie that just sprays Windex on anything whenever there's a problem because he thinks it fixes everything. This has worked so good for me that I feel like I have to share it with you. I'm obliged to do that. What you do with it is up to you, but I love not being sick. I like if I come in contact with a sick person that I have like a firewall. And it's natural. It's an all-natural remedy. So this is the deal. Apple cider vinegar with the mother. You got to have the mother. I don't know enough to explain to you what the mother is, but it's got a bunch of good stuff in it. And honey, that's it. This is what you do. Take Gary here, fill him up with hot water. One tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Now, you want to shake this pretty good because the mother is like at the bottom. It's alive, it's a living thing. Gotta shake it up real good. So, 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is really good for you. It has all kinds of good things in it. I'm just going to say things like good things because I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know this works. And I know that, so like when you get sick oftentimes, like a cold or like gross stuff just starts dripping down your throat from your sinuses, instead of letting the bacteria build up in your throat, I think that's like a petri dish for where a lot of this starts, whether it's up in your nose or wherever. This kills a lot of that bad bacteria, and I believe like viruses and stuff too, because it has worked so good for me. Now, I don't want to jinx it, so I almost thought about not making this because I'm like, oh, probably as soon as I make the video, then I'll get sick. But that's not going to happen. So I just put 1 tablespoon of vinegar. You don't want to use more. You don't want to use it straight, because if you use it straight, it'll burn your throat because it's potent. So we're diluting it, and 1 tablespoon of honey. All right, and then stir it up real good. It's important that you use hot water so the honey dissolves. It takes a little bit for it to stir in there since it's a whole tablespoon. I was just testing this out. It's like an old wives' tale, something that I had heard about a long time ago. I think my mom had done this when I was a kid, and now I understand why. There were times in these last few months that I've been doing this that my kids came home from school sick, or one of them came home from school, and I immediately had the whole family start sipping on this, and we call it Jamba Juice. Like, you're sick, if you feel like the tiniest little tinge in your throat, start gargling with this. And at first they weren't on board, but oftentimes when one of my kids gets sick, you're like, oh no, because like you try to keep the kids apart, and then hopefully the second one doesn't get sick. You're like, oh, we got to do this all over again. But we've stopped that several times with this over the last few months, where it's like I said before, I feel like I have a firewall or a fire break that if we start sipping on this, it's fine. There was even one time my son had a stomach bug and he barfed in his bed. And if you've ever been in that kind of situation, it's like walking into the room, the air is almost hot, like where you could taste the puke particles in the air. And I'm thinking like, oh no, oh, this is bad. I don't want the whole family to get sick. And the two of them sleep in the same room together. And then when you're a parent and you have a sick kid, it's just like you can't avoid contact with the germs. But we all started drinking this, and that way it stopped with him. It didn't move through the whole family. So I am a big believer in this now, and I'd encourage anybody of you to try it. A sore throat, it works so great. Like when your throat starts feeling tight and then like scratchy, and you're like, oh, I got that post-nasal drip. This makes it feel better really quick, and then just cuts down the bacteria, and you can move out of it. You just have to try it. So, cup of hot water, 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar with the mother, the good stuff, 1 tablespoon of honey, mix it together, and it doesn't allow bacteria to grow. So like I'll leave a cup of this on the counter for like 2 days till I actually drink the whole thing, and it stays great. Sometimes I'll like warm it up before I drink it. Other times cold is fine. Might taste a little funny the first time you do it, but when you realize what it's saving you from, it's no big deal. And it doesn't have to be Gary Coleman. Like for example, this is my Father's Day mug. If you try this, one piece of advice I would have for you is don't just start chugging it. Like, take it slow. It will change your digestive function a little bit. If it changes it in an unpleasant way, just don't drink it. Just gargle it and spit it out down the drain. It'll still have the same effect. I believe there are good health effects if you actually do drink it, but I don't want to make things uncomfortable for you. Personally, I think it helps my digestion without getting too graphic. When I drop my friends off at the pool, my friends seem happier and healthier looking. It's important that your friends are healthy. Some other members of the family feel like maybe it just increases the urgency of some things sometimes. So if you have any effects that you feel aren't pleasant, just don't swallow. Gargle and spit out. Do we know what gargling is? It's like, and then spit out. Anyway, I hope this helps you out. Please let me know in the comments if you can use it as a fire break in your house too, and if you feel like it's keeping you from getting sick. I'm not a doctor, so this is not medical advice. That's the disclaimer. I'm just telling you what it's done for me, and I'm thrilled. So, peace out.